Let's get it, Dex. Where my ATLians at? Nobody from ATL? Hey. Wow. Hey, come on, y'all, practice. Yo, I got him. I got him. Yo, I got him. I got him. Oh, I got him. I got him. I got him. Yeah, you want my shade? Cause sun's out beaming, so I got my top back leaning, meaning. Get out my way, all working, no play. That's me every day, so I'm beaming. Changing faces, places, paces, backseat, take with 9 suitcases. Vacation, I'm taking, escaping the heart and wish season. There's an imagery, significantly, I need a new scenery, cause it's what's killing me. Softly, 2 P's, you the remedy. I'm a Yosemite, botanicals in the breeze. Change energy, perfect chemistry. I'ma do me, do the new ministry. You're pretty disagree, by all means. Now you feeling me? Yeah.
Alright, can you talk to us a little bit about when you first fell in love with MCing, the art of hip-hop, like the very beginning, and then how it transpired from like being a fan of hip-hop to you wanting to be an artist, your own artist?
If I can go back in time and remember the very first time I fell in love with MC, like actual rapping, I want to say it was probably around that whole 2000 era when all the childhood artists were out. That's when, you know, there was Bow Wow and Romeo and Code 5 and D2K and everything like that. And so I just kind of started falling in love with the whole aspect of being an artist, I guess, because I was singing first.
Okay.
That's all I used to sing and instruments. But when I saw that, when I started rewriting the rhymes of the singles that were on the radio and from a female's perspective, I think that would probably be the beginning of when I saw people my age doing it, you know what I mean? And then I just kind of started moving backwards to when I really fell in love with the genre. I had to be like 6 or 7 years old. My dad used to play the Midnight Marauders all the time. So self-consciously, I already like fell in love with jazz and hip-hop together and didn't really realize where that came from until I just started kind of remembering, you know, when I was really young. But I've always just had a passion for music from Missy Elliott. I was one of those kids that listened to everything that was on the radio. And lucky for me, I caught the tail end of when the era was just amazing. You know, the end of the 90s. You know, that's when I was old enough to start remembering words and rapping along and stuff. So I think that would probably coincide with being 6 to 16 and just kind of all that happened in between, you know, just happened. People who know me, like I was playing drums and bass and singing all at the same time before I started rapping. Like rapping was late, like that was the last thing I started doing. So, you know, everything is like a big melting pot of all the different talents that I have that I want to do. And so now I'm just at that place where I'm trying to display it in lyrics way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, thus the birth, the genesis, Lyric Jones. The birth. Main difference from South by Southwest from last year to this year, I think for me, the first obvious one was last year I didn't have my own performances. I didn't have my own stuff. I was performing with the homie Young Scholar. We have a record together that's on Jones Street, but we already had it done last year. So, you know, just being a great friend, just like, yo, you coming to South by Southwest? Let's do Fearless together. He had like 3 to 4 shows, and I did 3 with him. That was amazing for me because, you know, I had a verse, he had a verse, so people were able to actually see me as an artist, but then soak up the experience as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guess this year, you know, it was the same thing. I was kind of floating around, but I had the Lyric Jones brand now. It was like I was established, the album is out, you know, I wasn't, you know, following anybody around. I was leading people to where I need to go. Like, it was a complete shift. I had 2 unofficial showcases, 1 official one. So it was just clear growth. Just
Dramatic too.
Very evident growth and progress from last year. You know, to the point where I'm walking down the street and cats are like, hey, you're Lyric Jones, you have your album on you? Like, I was just selling my record, just walking. And I was just like, what? Still just so humbling, just amazing. It's amazing that I just had flashbacks of the year before, you know, just walking the same 6th Street and just kind of following Skull around. Like, Where we going? What are we doing? So, amazing. Amazing experience. Jones Street has been, it was like giving birth, and I don't have kids. But if I were to have kids, I feel like it would feel like that. Mainly because I have been in labor with Jones Street since 2008.
Wow.
So it's been a roller coaster of just, worrying about finances, worrying about getting, the features in on time, worrying about artwork, worrying about everything all on my own. I have no team, no management, no label.
All you.
All me. So it definitely was very overwhelming. So to drop it on February 7th was just kind of like it was just here, you know what I mean? And all the responses from it, I mean, it's going to take, people have to understand, because when you put out an album that's not great and stuff like that, it's going to take a good year and a half for it to really circulate. This is still in infancy stages. People who do know about it, there's so many people who are my fam that haven't even listened to it yet. It's still early. And that's just keeping me kind of humble and realizing that I still have a lot of work to do, forming and collabs to make people I gotta hear this project. You know what I mean? But to put it out and get the feedback that I've gotten from it, from various blogs or whomever, has been just amazing. It's very refreshing. You know what I mean? To be this is what I've been working on, and people are listening to it in its entirety and appreciate what I've done. You know what I mean? And then of course the features are there. It's all been from love and support. You know what I mean? Esperance, Spalding, J Live, what I'm saying, Young Scholar, Craft, Playboy, everybody.
Great features.
And it's just all from
album.
different pockets of the industry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All from different pockets. Some people don't even know each other, you know what I'm saying? But somehow, some way, I'm the common denominator. And that's what feels great too. You know what I'm saying? People finding out about each other on my album, So, now is the time to just perform everywhere as much as I can. And the album just, I had postpartum a little bit when I first dropped it, if you will. Just because I was nobody's listening to it. Nobody's listening to it. I dropped it, nobody wants to pay for it. Nobody wants to listen to it. But I just realized that, when you go to South by and you do your album release and then people are running up to you I need to get this album. Where is the lyrics? It's not in your purse. That just kind of keeps me going. Just gives me that extra energy shot, because I definitely was feeling I dropped this album, nobody's listening to it, all this money, all this artwork. Just because of the people I've talked to that are in my circle haven't listened to it yet, haven't pressed play. So then that makes you feel like it's a reflection of everybody, but it's not. So the small few that have bought it, or even listened to it on Bandcamp or whatever, have been ranting and raving about it. And that balances out and outweighs everybody who has it. The biggest thing that would be an obstacle and that has been stressing my career right now is the lack of a team or management and the lack of financial backing for anything. So I know that the moment I would get those two things, just wait and see. The moment I get some money to just do what I gotta do, and the moment I get a great management team or assistant or publicist, I'm just gonna show out, because that's the only thing that, it's not really holding me back, but it's the only thing holding me back from what I want to completely do and showcase. Even from just recording, I want to do a live album. You know what I mean? You got to pay for that stuff.
Yeah.
You got to finance band, you got to finance food, you got to, because people are hungry, you got to finance the studio time. And I know that if I can do something like that, it will set me apart. I just need the money to set myself apart from things, because me rapping, anybody can do that. Anybody can talk. You know what I mean? Because that's all that is. Now, rapping good, there's another set of people that can do that too. But being able to play instruments and be your own showcase, and, you know what I'm saying, sing, write, all that stuff, play drums, all that stuff is just not what anybody else can do like me. So I just want to be able to do it and be able to show people that I'm an individual. So that's just been the only frustrating thing, just the lack of the resources per se. But to be able to be to be able to look at this and know that this is all just been off help and love and strength, you know, just people who support me. That's just no telling what can come after this. You know what I'm saying? Because this was when I had nothing. So imagine when I have like stuff to be able to when I have resources. I can't wait. I surprise myself. I can't wait to see it. I'm on the ride, the joyride of the Larry Jones, you know, adventure, because I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. So I'm just holding on, like waiting to see what's next.
And any words of inspiration for anyone who would like to do what you're doing, which is following their dreams?
I definitely would. I definitely say if music is what you want to do, it has to be a love before a job first. You know, I wake up and I realize that every time, like like I have to survive off of this, but I have to drain back to myself. Do I still love what I'm doing? Okay, I do. Cool, I can keep going. You know, the moment I don't anymore, it's all gonna be downhill, and that's my only fear, is that it's gonna be all business and all just trying to, you know what I'm saying, make it, and just losing the interest and the passion of just writing and just being in the essence of a show or whatever. And I would just encourage whoever is doing this to just maintain that passion and love for what you do, because everything else follows after that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still trying to do it. I'm still trying to just I'm still young, you know, and every time I'm just like, how am I getting drained so early? And it's because, like I said, just when you do everything yourself, it's just kind of like you have nothing left. And I'm just trying to find pockets of strength and ambition and, you know, motivation from everybody, everywhere.
Who motivates you?
Man, everybody that gets up on the stage and performs something that I'm not doing is all the way inspiring and motivates me. You know, and to have a conversation with them after that, it's just like butterflies. You know what I'm saying? To be able to call up Big Crit or call up Playboy Trey and call up, you know what I'm saying, cats who perform every night in other countries and do these things, and just telling me like, yo, you're a problem. Keep moving, keep going. Like, to me, it's just like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then to realize cats have 10 years on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're still trying to do what I'm doing. You know, that to me inspires me too. That they're still going, and they're telling me to keep going. And I see what they're doing, and I can just see forward 10 years or so and be like, okay, I'll keep going, staying positive. Things will come about. So. See this right here? This is Masterpiece Jones, aka Jones. If you want a physical copy, call me. Or you can go to Bandcamp, you can order a physical copy on there. Don't be fooled by the little track listing. Go down a little bit, it says buy now, I will send you a physical copy. Or you can go to Move Music, Criminal Records, I have them. But you can find me on LarryJones.com, Twitter at LarryJones, /DLarryJones. But go to LarryJones.com, you'll have all the links to whatever you need. So definitely come support the movement. This is what it looks like. It's pretty awesome. Shouts out to Flux on the artwork. Pretty dope. Yeah. Earrings on deck. You know what I'm saying?